Hi, everybody. Dr. Zach here. And hey, today is a day that we should be celebrating. I think that every day is a day that we can be celebrating something. Yesterday here in Colorado, the Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, and that's worth a hand clap of celebration. But last week there was even bigger victory that took place in our Supreme Court system, and that was basically taking away just a universal privilege for babies' lives to be murdered. And this is an incredibly divisive topic. So as we've got people celebrating that, we've overturned something for the last 50 years, 49 years, since 1973 when Roe versus Wade was passed, 63 million babies' lives ended. And I know that there's controversy about, hey, you know what, those are medical necessities and these types of things that go on. Less than 2% of those were medical emergencies or from even crimes, people that were victims of crime. So we're looking at 98+% that were elective. And these are babies' lives ended. And I know that there's this my body, my choice thing that goes around, but that baby's body is not a woman's body. And it's just plain truth that that is a human being. And that being allowed just to end its life is no different than being allowed to end anybody's life. And that's something that shouldn't be a constitutional right that we have. So we need to take and celebrate that. And what hurts my heart is to see how much more divisive this has become as this is passed and the hate that comes out with that. We see here in Boulder County that a caring pregnancy center, a place that comes along and assists those young women, young couples that are pregnant and gives them resources they need so that they can have a healthy baby and to find support for that baby, whether it's through themselves raising it or to find an adoptive parent for that. It was burned and it was vandalized. And we see that there's never an excuse where that's okay. We see people that are just going off and talking about how it's a violation of their rights no longer to be able to kill babies. And I don't know how we've gotten to a point of so much mental depravity, but we have. And it's time for us to come back and to really recognize that we do want choice. We want to make choices that are going to be best for us and those that are around us. That means that if it's a baby that's inside of us, it's for that baby's best choice too. I testified at the state capitol 2.5 years ago, for moms' rights, for parents' right to be able to make decisions about whether or not their children receive certain medical interventions. And it was actually split party line. It was interesting. I'm not sure why it's a party line decision that I shouldn't be able to make some kind of a choice regarding the well-being and the health care that my child receives. But at the same time, before that child's born, I should have the right to take their life. It doesn't make any sense. There's a disconnect. There's just a complete lack of integrity and congruency in what goes on with this thinking. And even Colorado's Governor Polis, who has proactively taken steps to make sure that even babies after they're born can still be killed in Colorado. That's got to be changed. But here's what he says. Here's what he tweeted on the 24th after this decision was changed by the Supreme Court. He said, Coloradans do not want politicians making their health care decisions. We will continue to choose freedom, stand against government control over our bodies, and will not retreat to an archaic era where the powerful few controlled the freedoms over our bodies and health decisions. Now, I want to put this in perspective. This is the same governor that is responsible for me no longer having a license to practice my profession and having to shut down my business because a select few, a powerful few, exerted their control over my freedom to make choices regarding my health and not force those tyrannical rules upon the people that came into my business. Out of one side of his mouth, he says, yeah, we were going to protect your right to kill babies. But at the same time, and we have just demonstrated it, that we're going to take away your rights to operate your business without forcing people to do what we say that they need to do. There's an incongruency here. And I think that it's important for us to recognize that we can celebrate that the Supreme Court is stepping up and making some good choices to protect the freedoms of every person. pre-born people and post-born people. But we also have to take and make sure that as we have an election coming up right now, we got primaries coming up this week, that we take and we continue to exercise our freedom. We don't get complacent. We have to keep pushing ahead. And that this is a time where truth is coming out. The darkness is being displaced by light and by truth. And we need to stand united, and we need to let our voices be heard. So with that said, this is a day to celebrate. Don't stop celebrating. But at the same time, it's time for us to keep moving ahead, to keep exercising our voices, and to share the truth, to do it in love, to do it in ways that we can support those that have crisis situations going on, and not to make them feel left out or that they're desperate. But we can come along and say, look, we're going to help you get through this. Sometimes life gives us challenging situations, but we can come together and we can grow through those, and we can turn out better on the other end of that, instead of just running away and trying to avoid those challenging situations. So with that said, let's celebrate today. Let's celebrate the love and life we have for each other, and let's look at each other as living beings that deserve the right to exercise their freedom. God bless you guys. Make today a great one, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.